Long before the Santa Claus,
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. When I wake up, I'm getting a CAT scan.
or Prep and Landing, the Disney studio brought Saint Nick to life in two back-to-back Silly Symphonies, Santa's Workshop in 1932 and The Night Before Christmas in 1933. Released at the height of the Great Depression, these two cartoons gave audiences a whimsical escape and their first glimpse of a Disney-style Santa. Hi, I'm Dennis, and this is West of Neverland. If you like classic Disney animation and feel like unwrapping some festive behind-the-scenes Christmas history, then this is the place for you. Today we're diving into Santa's Workshop and The Night Before Christmas, two charming silly symphonies that helped shape Disney's vision of holiday storytelling and featured the studio's first ever on-screen Santa Claus. While Santa's Workshop and The Night Before Christmas were the first times the Disney studio animated Santa Claus himself, the character had already made a few cameo appearances, through costume at least. It started with Empty Socks in 1927, an Oswald the Lucky Rabbit cartoon that's now considered Disney's earliest surviving Christmas short. It was thought lost for decades, but about 3/4 of it has since been recovered. In the short, Oswald disguises himself as Santa to deliver gifts to a group of orphans, who immediately cause so much chaos that they end up burning the orphanage down. Then in 1931's Mickey's Orphans, Mickey and Minnie take on a group of abandoned kittens, and Mickey dresses as Santa to hand out the presents, while Pluto wears a hastily thrown together reindeer costume. A year later, just after Santa's Workshop debuted, Mickey donned the Santa suit again in Mickey's Good Deed, one of the studio's most heartfelt cartoons. In that short, Mickey reluctantly sells Pluto to a rich brat
Goodbye, old pal.
in order to buy gifts for a poor family of kittens. He peeks into their home and sees them sleeping, dreaming of Santa flying through the sky. He also notices something peculiar. The house is crawling with small, realistic-looking mice. So Mickey, a mouse himself, is gazing in at other real mice. It's a tender moment for sure, but it also raises the question, what exactly is Mickey? If you haven't seen it, Pluto ends up going back to Mickey at the end as the brat finally gets what's coming to him. And so it does have a happy ending, but it is pretty sad to see Pluto tortured the way he is in that short. Both Santa's Workshop and The Night Before Christmas were directed by Wilfred Jackson, one of Disney Studios' earliest and most trusted animators. Jackson joined the company in the late 1920s and got his start on Steamboat Willie. Over the next 2 decades, he would go on to be one of the directors of Fantasia, Dumbo, and Cinderella. In these two holiday shorts, Santa's Workshop and The Night Before Christmas, you can see how the studio was still working through some of the quirks of early animation that they'd go on to refine over the next few years. For example, the line work on Santa's beard and the fur on his coat shows the animators hadn't quite yet figured out how to design hair or clumps of fur for a smooth motion. On many of the frames, the line work shifts slightly from one drawing to the next, causing some kind of a flickering or shimmering effect around Santa's outlines. They had figured out techniques for handling this quite a bit by the time they got to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and the dwarfs' beards.
They're full of wicked wiles. What are wicked wiles? I don't know, but I'm agin 'em.
You'll also spot some common efficiency techniques that were used in these early cartoons. Repetitive actions like building the toys on the assembly line or the marching toys going around the room, they were animated in loops, what animators call cycles, repeated over and over to save time and money. Crowd scenes were also multiplied by cycling the animation, but also flipping it so one half of the group would be copied and placed onto the other side of the screen, doubling the number of characters without actually doubling the work. At a time when the studio was still refining its style, these techniques helped bring Santa's busy world to life. Santa Claus was voiced by Allan Watson in Santa's Workshop,
Dear Santa Claus, pint like a dolly. Merry Christmas from little Molly.
giving the character a deep, jolly resonance. While there's no spoken dialogue in The Night Before Christmas, recordings of Santa's laugh were reused from the earlier short. There's some disagreement as to who actually did the laugh in Santa's Workshop and in The Night Before Christmas. It could be Allan Watson, but it also could have been Bill Geiger, who was one of the crew members at the Disney studio at the time, and must have had a jolly, loud laugh to have it become that for Santa. Watson became a familiar voice in several Silly Symphonies from this era. He also voiced Old King Cole in Mother Goose Melodies in 1931,
And a merry old soul am I.
King Neptune in 1932.
I'm Neptune, king of the sea.
He was Old King Cole again in 1933,
Oh, welcome, dear little friends, to my annual jamboree.
and Noah in Father Noah's Ark, also in 1933.
I make the plans and give commands to build the ark.
Some sources also credit him in the roles of the kings in The Pied Piper
Blow your pipe until you burst.
and Ye Olden Days,
Oh, hear ye loyal subjects of my kingdom of Lalapazoo.
and even as the voice of Dr. Triple X in The Mad Doctor.
And here's the great experiment I'm just about to tackle, to find out if the net result will bark or crow or cackle.
Have you ever seen The Mad Doctor? That is one scary cartoon. In Santa's Workshop, Santa's grumpy little secretary who helps validate the naughty or nice list of each child
Molly seems to be okay. She eats her spinach every day.
was voiced by Pinto Colvig, a common name you've heard quite a bit on this channel. He was best known, of course, as the voice of Goofy,
I know you'll learn to love me.
but you might also recognize that gravelly tone from his later performance as Grumpy in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
How do you do what?
And there's a brief cameo from Walt Disney himself. After Santa declares that naughty Billy Brown will get a cake of soap for not washing behind his ears,
There's still some hope. I'll just add a cake of soap.
a little elf chirps back, "Okay, a cake of soap."
Okay, a cake of soap. Cake of soap, cake of soap.
That line was voiced by Walt. If you're enjoying this deep dive into Disney history, please consider sharing it with your friends and on other social media. It would really help grow my channel. Santa's Workshop, the fourth Technicolor Silly Symphony, was released in December 1932. This short takes us to the North Pole, where Santa and his team of cheerful elves are hard at work preparing toys for Christmas Eve. We follow the process from Santa checking his mail and sorting his children into naughty and nice lists, to the toy-making floor where the elves sew, saw, and hammer away, and a few assembly line gags that all build up to Santa loading his sleigh and singing farewell to his elves,
I'm bringing joy to a million homes. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
and taking off into the snowy sky. A year later came The Night Before Christmas in 1933, which picks up right where the last short ends. This one opens with Santa flying over a small town and landing quietly on a snowy rooftop. Inside the house, stockings are hung by the chimney with care, and sleeping children lie dreaming in their bed. The short loosely adapts the famous poem, blending it with Disney's signature musical style. That was common with the Silly Symphonies of the day. Santa delivers presents, sets up a lavish toy display, and the toys march into their positions. When the children wake, chaos and delight ensue, and the short ends with Santa flying off into the night.
The children saw Santa Claus riding away.
Both of these shorts have been edited over time to remove scenes that are now seen as insensitive. Some of those moments, like a doll gag in Santa's Workshop or a toy taxi in The Night Before Christmas, were already gone by the time these cartoons reached VHS. I didn't encounter the more complete versions until the Walt Disney Treasures DVDs, and even those weren't fully intact. When Santa's Workshop hit theaters in December 1932, it offered audiences a dose of holiday cheer during the darkest days of the Great Depression, and the critics took notice. The film daily gushed, "Hoopla! We are 5 years younger. Sure, business is terrible, but what do we care? To hell with the Depression. Our outlook on life is completely changed, and all because we have just seen old Santa Claus himself brought to the screen as only that old maestro Walt Disney can present him. It is called Santa's Workshop and will be devoured by every kid from 7 to 70. Motion Picture Herald offered similar praise in its holiday week issue. Here, in about 6½ minutes, is a sweet little short. Done entirely in Technicolor, Santa's Workshop tells a cute story that has been told many times before, but never in the glamorous, appealing way it is presented here. The following year, The Night Before Christmas continued that momentum with its own glowing reception. In Screenland magazine, a reader from Pittsburgh sent in a glowing letter. "Marvelous. Walt Disney's Night Before Christmas is so lovely it makes even his 3 little pigs look like a lot of ham. If the screen ever had anything more charming or diverting than these colored silly symphonies, I have never seen it." And from the pages of the Film Daily, a reviewer wrote, "If there is any film that can delight the kiddies more than the 3 Little Pigs, it is this holiday gem. The kiddies will go completely wild over the silly symphony, and the grown-ups will never forget it." Clearly, the reviewers and the audiences loved both of these silly symphonies. By the way, if you're curious about my sources, I've linked to them in the video description. Check them out, and if you happen to make a purchase, they are Amazon affiliate links, and that would help support my channel. Today, Santa's Workshop and The Night Before Christmas stand as 2 of Disney's earliest tributes to the holiday spirit, and the studio's first real steps towards defining what Santa Claus would look and sound like in animation. I first encountered these shorts on the A Walt Disney Christmas VHS tape, something I've referred to quite a bit lately as we've gone through these Christmas-themed shorts. I remember watching it every December as a kid, and they've stuck with me ever since for the way they captured the wonder of Christmas in a distinctly early Disney style. Both shorts were later included in the Walt Disney Treasures More Silly Symphonies DVD set, which preserved them more completely than earlier releases. And today, only Santa's Workshop is available to stream on Disney+, but it is the edited version, missing some of the scenes that have been quietly removed over the years. Still, even in their shortened form, these cartoons remain a joyful glimpse into the formative time in Disney history, and a reminder of how, even during the Great Depression, Walt and his animators found ways to bring a little magic to the screen.
With a hi-hi-ho and a hi-hi-hey, we better hurry up, tomorrow's Christmas Day.
And what about you? Did you grow up watching these silly symphonies too? What's your favorite holiday-themed Disney short? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like to keep the festive feeling going, check out this playlist of all of the videos I've made about Christmas and the winter-themed Disney shorts. You can check them out right here, and I'll see you real soon.